Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, John. Well, yes, we're running.
Okay.
Well, good afternoon, councillors, officers and guests. Welcome to the 2025 annual meeting of Gloucester City Council. I would like to remind members that this meeting is being live streamed on the Council's YouTube channel. The recording of the meeting will remain online for 4 years, and if you are present in the chamber, you are consenting to appearing in the recording and broadcast, which may also be used for training purposes. I have received apologies from Councillors Brooker, Lewis, Marshall and Alistair Chambers. Are there any other apologies, please? Yes, Councillor Graham.
Councillor O'Donnell and Councillor Bell.
Thank you, Councillor Graham. So the next item of business to be transacted at the meeting is to elect a mayor for the ensuing council year. Are there any nominations for the office of mayor for the new civic year? Yes, Councillor Wilson.
Yes, Madam Mayor. I would like to move that Councillor Ashley Bucket be elected Mayor of the City of Gloucester until the annual council meeting 2026.
Is that seconded?
Yes. Angela, please. It is.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, like those who have preceded him, Ashley represents not only what is best of what Gloucester is, but more crucially, what it can become. He is someone who has quite a unique history. He was born and bred and raised in the cathedral city of Hereford, so far so conventional, but then his journey took him to from the heart of the English countryside to the dynamic country of China, where in 2004, he began a career in media that would span nearly 2 decades and cross continents. His work in television production and broadcasting has not only garnered international recognition, including an award on the Los Angeles Cinema Festival of Hollywood in 2018, but it has told stories, raised voices, and built bridges between people and cultures. In 2011, he made Gloucester his home, and it didn't take long for him to begin putting something back into the community. First elected to Gloucester City Council in 2019, he brought with him a wealth of experience, creativity, and an ability to communicate with clarity and conviction. His contributions since then have proven that good governance isn't about politics alone. It's about people, and more importantly, staying in touch and valuing our communities. He is a communicator in the deepest sense, and he is a fluent speaker in that he's a fluent speaker of Mandarin. One of the joys of canvassing with Ashley is watching him when he comes across native Chinese residents and I always marvel at how he slips effortlessly into conversing with them in fluent Mandarin. People appreciate things like this, and the ability to pick up complex languages is a skill that I wish I had. I understand he's now learning Vietnamese, so there you go. Ashley has always struck me as someone who understands that listening is just as important as speaking. Whether through language, media, or council chambers, it's ultimately all about helping people and bringing them together. Unfortunately, COVID put pay to his media career, so Ashley has moved on to the next big thing. As an artificial intelligence prompt engineer and LLM prototype tester, he's already exploring the tools of tomorrow and seeing how he can adapt them to serve the needs of today. Oh, and he doesn't like peanut butter. That's apparently quite important. Madam Mayor, Ashley brings a global perspective, technical knowledge, local dedication, and a grounded human approach to this chamber. In a time where leadership must be innovative, inclusive, and forward-looking, I can think of no one better suited to follow in your footsteps and wear the chain of office of Gloucester's next mayor. So it is great pride and honour that I propose Ashley to be our next mayor and wish him every success in the year behind. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Wilson. And my apologies, Councillor Condor. we now know that you are going to second, so would you like to speak now, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a few lines. Of course, when one's going to give a speech, you look up some suitable quotes, don't you? One I found, which maybe isn't appropriate, but I liked it anyway. Beware the quiet man, for while others speak, he watches, and while others act, he plans, and when they finally rest, he strikes. We have been warned. Currently, I believe Ashley's doing a bit of auditing work. Not exactly sure about that, but we know that auditors are required to be accurate, follow due process, look for the detail, the devil in the detail, in fact, and to be alert to any anomaly or omission. He's honed these skills in the council chamber and obviously on the airport board. I'm sure he'll manage our meetings with quiet authority and clear direction. He'll have an eye on the desired outcome and not be distracted from the task. Remember, what do they say about quiet people? You don't have to be loud to be heard. I'm very happy to second this proposal. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Conde. It has been moved and seconded that Councillor Ashley Bowkett be elected Mayor of the City of Gloucester until the annual council meeting 2026. Are there any other nominations? Will those in favour please say aye? Aye. Aye. Any against? The motion is carried, and I declare that Councillor Ashley Bowkett is duly elected Mayor of Gloucester until the annual council meeting 2026.
Mr. Mayor, may I formally offer you the keys and seal of the city? If anyone else would like to come forward to take photos, please do so now. Thank you, Pam. Mr. Mayor, may I ask you to read aloud the Declaration of Acceptance of Office?
I, Ashley Boquet, having been elected to the office of the Mayor of Gloucester, declare that I will take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code as to the conduct which is expected of members of Gloucester City Council.
Mr. Mayor, may I now ask that the incoming Mayor's Consort, Mrs. Ashley Boquet, be presented with her badge of office by the former Mayor's Consort, Mr. Ross Campbell. Again, if anyone would like to come forward to take photographs, please feel free to do so now.
Going to need to take these off because it doesn't work with a touch screen. Sorry if that's against protocol. Breaking the rules already. It doesn't recognize me because I've got the... It's not supposed to be like this. Firstly, I'd like to thank the outgoing Mayor, Councillor Lorraine Campbell, who's been a brilliant advocate for Gloucester for the last 12 months. If you could join me in a quick round of applause for Lorraine. Ladies and gentlemen, members, esteemed guests, fellow residents of Gloucester, thank you. I'm deeply honoured to accept the role of Mayor of Gloucester for the year 2025 to 2026. I'm very honoured to do this. And I want to express my heartfelt thanks to the Liberal Democrat Group for placing your trust in me and to all the members for your endorsement. Thank you. Now, it was when I was 4 years old that I lost my father. It gets better, don't worry. The effects of losing a parent are felt for a lifetime. He was not a great deal older than I am now. Had there been today's medical advances in cardiology, there's every chance he could have been saved. Growing up with a parent absent is very difficult for a young person. The impact is quite profound. Everyone else seems to have a perfect life, while you're left questioning your place in the world. But it builds character and resilience. And resilience is a life skill that shapes the best of people. The sacrifice, the cost, though, was much of a childhood lost. That resilience led me, by my early 20s, to travel in the world and meet incredible people who helped me to grow in wisdom and see different perspectives. I learned that it was never just me in this world. I built a good career, started a family, and achieved a great deal. And I'm still only 46 years old. The journey I've had so far compels me to pay it forwards. It turns out that one of the most important decisions that I made returning from an expat career abroad was to settle in Gloucester 14 years ago. And here we are today. It is a city like no other, rich in history, full of character, and bursting with potential. It's a city of strong, caring communities, bold ideas, and a shared spirit that carries us through challenging times toward a future of opportunity. And that future lies more than ever in the hands of our young people. This civic year, I'll be standing up for Gloucester's next generation, our children. Not only because they are tomorrow's leaders, but because they are today's change makers. In an age filled with challenges, they need our support, our attention, and belief, perhaps more than ever. Growing up isn't easy. It never has been. But today's young people face pressures that are unique to their time, from social media and digital overwhelm to anxiety about the future. I understand what it means to feel out of place at a young age. I also know how much strength can come from being shown that you matter. We were all young once. Some of us are still young at heart. But we also carry the benefit of experience here. As parents, carers, neighbours, as a city, we can choose to walk alongside our young people, to listen, to mentor, to open doors. That is how we help them find their voice and their confidence. As your mayor over the next year, I want us to focus on building that confidence, especially in how young people engage safely with the world of technology, particularly in the fast-growing industries of fintech and artificial intelligence. Let's encourage our children to be resilient and equip them with the tools and self-belief to shape the future of our city and their own lives. Alongside this, I am proud to support two outstanding charities this year in equal measure. First, the Cheltenham and Gloucester Hospitals Charity, an organisation making hospital life better by funding state-of-the-art equipment, mental health and wellbeing support, groundbreaking research and much more. All funds raised will go to the cardiology department at the Gloucestershire Royal Hospital. This team, like many others in the NHS, saves lives every day. But personally, I owe them a debt of gratitude, and I know that many others will do too. The second charity is the James Hopkins Trust, which I know you will agree is an incredible organisation. They provide nursing respite care to life-limited and life-threatened young children here in Gloucester. I've seen the joy and the magic and the compassion they bring to whole families, and I look forward to working closely with their team this year. As mayor, I also look forward to celebrating the vibrant life of our city. From Gloucester Goes Retro, to the Gloucester Day Parade, to our annual civic service. Please come along. And so many community events that show the pride and heart of Gloucester. But more than anything else, I promise to listen, because Gloucester belongs to all of us. And when we listen and appreciate one another, we grow stronger together. So let's be visionary, let's act with compassion, and let's inspire each other to carry Gloucester forward. Together we can show the world that this is not only a city of historical value, but a place of real opportunity for every young person, every family, and everyone who calls Gloucester home. Thank you.
Mr Mayor, the next business to be transacted is to elect a sheriff and deputy mayor for the ensuing council year. I would ask that you call for nominations.
Are there any nominations for the office of Sheriff and Deputy Mayor? Councillor Hyman.
Mr Mayor, congratulations on your election, and I wish you all the best for the forthcoming year. And I'd like to move that Councillor Linda Castle be elected Sheriff and Deputy Mayor of the City of Gloucester for the ensuing council year. I've known Linda for some years now. She is always approachable and listens carefully to what one is saying. I know she works hard in her ward and engages with residents in a practical and friendly manner. I used to be a councillor in the adjoining ward of Elmbridge, so I'm sitting next to my former colleague here from Elmbridge, and there were cross-border issues which were enjoyable to resolve, with Linda being one of the councillors for Longlevens. Linda's outgoing personality and her people skills will be an asset to her role as Sheriff and Deputy Mayor. I have been Sheriff before, so Linda will have a hard act to follow. Joking apart, this role is made for her, and I have no hesitation in proposing her for Sheriff and Deputy Mayor. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Hyman. Is that seconded?
Mr Mayor, first of all, congratulations.
Councillor Sawyer.
First of all, congratulations. I would like to second the nomination for Councillor Linda Castle. I wish to make a short speech. It's been my privilege to work alongside Linda for the last 6 years, and I'm really pleased that she has put herself forward for this role. As Howard mentioned, the role of Sheriff is a perfect fit for her for a number of reasons. Linda has always been passionate about attending the civic events and wearing the robes. She will enjoy dressing up for the events planned this year. She is warm and friendly and a real people person, which is why it takes her so long to walk a dog around Long Evans, so she stops to chat to everyone. She enjoys supporting community groups and charities by giving up her time, promoting them and donating money. She's told me that she's looking forward to all the events already in her diary. She gives 100% to everything she undertakes, and I have no doubt she will bring the same commitment to her duties as Sheriff. She is proud to be from Gloucester, and she will fly the flag proudly at all the Sheriff events that she will attend. Her key skill is that she is used to controlling unruly members, as she sorts Jeremy out for us on a regular basis. I'm confident that she will have an enjoyable and fulfilling year this year, and together with Ashley, they will make an exceptional team. I want to end by congratulating Linda on being selected as Sheriff for our city, and I'm happy to second her proposal.
It has been moved and seconded that Councillor Linda Castle be elected Sheriff and Deputy Mayor of the City of Gloucester for the ensuing council year. Are there any other nominations? If not, those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Any against? Motion is carried. I declare that Councillor Linda Castle is duly elected Sheriff and Deputy Mayor for the ensuing council year.
If anyone else would like to come forward to take photographs, please feel free to do so now. Madam Sheriff and Deputy Mayor, may I ask you to read aloud the Declaration of Acceptance of Office?
Thank you. I, Linda Castle, have been elected to the office of Sheriff and Deputy Mayor of Gloucester City Council. Declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code as to the conduct which is expected of the members of the Gloucester City Council. Thank you.
That's great, thank you. I'll turn the microphone. Mr. Mayor, may I now ask that the incoming Sheriff's Consort, Mr. Ian Castle, be presented with the badge of office by the former Sheriff's Consort, Mr. Justin Hudson. If anyone else would like to come forward for photographs, please do so now.
Thank you. Well, as you can see, I'm not a techie person. I've got a piece of paper that recognises me. It is a great honour and privilege to be given this role as the 895th Sheriff of Gloucester. And I would like to thank Councillor Campbell and Pam Tracy for their superb work year that they have had in this term of office. And again, I'd like to applaud them. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. In 2015, Councillor Jeremy Hilton came knocking on my door 3 times, actually, before he convinced me to stand as City Councillor in Long Levens. In 2021, I was successful in becoming the City Councillor for Long Levens, the area of Gloucester where I was born and I'm very proud to represent. I never thought at that time that I would ever be given the honorary position of Sheriff of Gloucester, and I would like to thank everyone who nominated me for this position, and also my husband, who has agreed to be my consul for the year. A couple of weeks ago, I visited Milestone School in Long Levens and met the staff and pupils of the school. It made me appreciate how fortunate I am to have 2 healthy sons and my husband Ian to support me. This is why my chosen charity, as Ashley has said before, in this coming year is the James Hopkins Trust. They provide, as Ashley has already said, they provide respite care for life-limited and life-threatening children. I'm excited very much to looking forward to the work, to working with the Mayor, and I am sure we will make a great team together to represent Gloucester. Thank you.
I would now like to call on Councillor Stephanie Chambers to move and Councillor Lewis to second.
And it was Councillor Patel to second.
Okay, and Councillor Patel to second a vote of thanks to the outgoing Mayor and the outgoing Sheriff and Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. May I congratulate you on becoming the 545th Mayor today. It is my honour to move the vote of thanks to our outgoing Mayor, Councillor Lorraine Campbell, and to our Sheriff and Deputy Mayor, Councillor Pam Tracy. Over the past year, Councillor Campbell has served the City of Gloucester with dignity, warmth and unwavering dedication. From the ceremonial duties to the community engagements, she has brought grace and genuine connection to the people she represents. Her presence at countless events, whether large civic occasions or smaller heartfelt community gatherings, has left a lasting impression on residents and organisations alike. Lorraine's commitment to public service is evident, not only in her role as Mayor, but also in her continued work as a councillor for Tuffley. She stepped into this role with a clear sense of purpose, honouring the legacy of her predecessor and friend, Colin Organ, and has carried that torch with pride and compassion. She has been a true ambassador for Gloucester, approachable, professional, and always with a smile. The one thing Lorraine always said to me is she made sure she gave everybody the same amount of energy that they equally deserved. Alongside her, we have been fortunate to have Councillor Pam Tracy as our Sheriff and Deputy Mayor. Pam is the heartbeat of Gloucester's civic life, the guardian of Gloucester's tradition, protocol and pride. She knows everything there is to know about civics of this city, and she has kept us all in line with her trademark energy, humour and deep respect for the heritage we uphold. Pam's passion for Gloucester is exceptional, and her commitment to persevering its traditions is something we all admire. Whether guiding new councillors, supporting the Mayor or representing the city in her own right, Pam has done so with a unique flair and an unshakable sense of duty. On behalf of the Council and the Conservative Group, and with heartfelt appreciation, I move that the best thanks of this Council be given to Councillor Lorraine Campbell for her exemplary manner in which she has discharged her duties of Mayor during the 2024-25 civic year, and to Councillor Pam Tracy for her outstanding service as Sheriff and Deputy Mayor. On a last note, Pam was the 894th Sheriff and Lorraine the 544th Mayor. Tradition and heritage is such an important part of our city and our life. And whilst we move into this period of government reorganisation, we must ensure that Gloucester's civics are given the importance that they deserve. Mr. Mayor, colleagues, I move that the best thanks of this council be given to the outgoing Mayor and the outgoing Sheriff and Deputy Mayor for the manner they have discharged the duties of their respective civic offices in 24-25 council year.
Councillor Patel.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Firstly, may I also offer my congratulations to you on your appointment, and also to Madam Sheriff as well on your appointment, and wish you all the best for the ensuing year ahead, and hope it's as successful as the last one. Absolutely, I absolutely echo all the comments made by Councillor Chambers, and I'm more than happy to second this vote of thanks to Councillor Lorraine Campbell and also to Councillor Pam Tracy for their great efforts over the last 12 months. It's been absolutely incredible and amazing journey. So well done. And I'd like to thank you for the way the manner in which you have conducted yourself, with your energy, your enthusiasm, your hard work, your passion, and it just came across. Whenever I've seen you in the city at various events, you guys have had the biggest smiles out of everyone there, and it's so great to see that you're representing this council and you've conducted yourself in the highest regard. So once again, thank you very much. And just moving on to Councillor Pam Tracy as well. Likewise, you've been, as always, one of our guardians of our civic roles. You've always, always been supportive of that at council meetings, and we hope that continues for the foreseeable future. Both of them have given so much to our wonderful city in the last 12 months, and I offer my sincere thanks on behalf of, hopefully, this whole council and everyone here for their outstanding service. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Patel. It has been moved and seconded that the best thanks of this council be given to the outgoing Mayor and the outgoing Sheriff and Deputy Mayor for the manner in which they discharge their duties of their respective civic offices in the 2024-25 council year. All those in favour say aye. Any against? The motion is carried. I now call on Councillor Campbell to reply.
I'm a paper person as well, Linda. Well, thank you Councillor Patel and Councillor Chambers for those very, very kind words. I'm very, very touched by the thanks of this council. And may I also offer my congratulations to the incoming Mayor and the incoming Deputy Mayor and Sheriff. I know you're going to have a wonderful year ahead. And thank you for your kind words as well. Well, what a year this has been. The Lorraine Campbell of 2022 would never have believed that she would ever be selected, elected, re-elected, and then nominated as Mayor. My deepest thanks to everyone who has supported me on this incredible journey, from the residents of Tuffley to Paula and Gerald Dee and the late Councillor Colin Organ's family. I also thank the Conservative group and everyone in this chamber for putting your faith in someone who was new to council, but not new to Gloucester. I've lived here for all of my 62 years, and I thought I knew Gloucester pretty well. But I've learned so much more over the past 12 months. With a mayor's overview and perspective, I now have a deeper understanding and appreciation of all the amazing organisations who work together to keep our city strong, vibrant and positive. one of the first things I learned was that Gloucester has 100,000 volunteers. That's many more than other cities of an equivalent size. Kind-hearted Gloucester. Throughout the year, I have been so impressed and inspired by our talented and dedicated young people, such as singer Yasmin Elizabeth Poole and musician Bertie Barzilia, and by all our cadets, guides, scouts, brownies, BB, Royal British Legion standard bearers, and more. And I echo the thoughts of current Mayor Beaucett, that they are our future. And their fine example fills me with hope. It's so important that their generation understands the role of the civics here in Gloucester. A particular young man stays in my memory who stopped us for a chat as we were heading for the cathedral. "Hey, I really like your jewellery," he said. "What brand is that?" I proudly lifted the badge of office and simply replied, "Gloucester." Many years ago, my dear dad was acquainted with the late, great Sir Roy Castle, who always referred to him as Gloucester. As a child, I thought how wonderful it was to be identified by your home city. It has been such an honour to be known as Gloucester whilst carrying the chain and represent the city in this historic way. The year has been filled with memorable occasions. In the last few weeks alone, I've had the privilege of lighting the beacon on Robinswood Hill for the second time in a year. The first time was back in June for D-Day 80, and again for VE Day 80, of course. We've also attended a royal garden party at Buckingham Palace, met Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Gloucester, just over the road there at the Barbican, presented a stone-carved lamprey pie for the King's Garden at Highgrove, and I've had the honour of receiving a Medal of Excellence from the Royal British Legion. I was also very proud to be the first Mayor of Gloucester to visit the Frank Whittle Museum in Lutterworth in Leicestershire, forging a link to celebrate our shared aviation heritage. I had a mission to inform as many Gloucestrians as possible that the first jet plane took off from Brockworth. This mission was further advanced by meeting Ian Whittle, son of Sir Frank, at the Jet Age Museum last month. World-changing Gloucester. And Gloucester changed the world again in 1951 with the Battle of Imjin River. If the Gloucesters had not held that hill for 3 days, perhaps there would be no South Korea now. A delegation from Paju, the city which is built upon the site of the battle, visited us in November, and I was deeply honoured to sign our sister city agreement with Mayor Kim to reaffirm the special bond between us. What an honour. Thinking of Gloucester in international terms, we have welcomed students to the Civic Suite here from France, Germany, Poland, Italy, and Japan. We have also engaged with all of our diverse communities across the city and celebrated a wide variety of different cultures together. After attending well over 200 events, here's a list of just some of the things we've shared with the people of Gloucester. We've danced Cajun style, hopped over Filipino bamboo poles, kicked footballs, skipped with Morris dancers. We've poppied, prayed and paraded with the Royal British Legion and all other uniformed organisations. We've taken salutes, been insulted by the mock mayor of Barton, heard cannon fire on the docks, had live link-ups to the Gloucesters in America. We've sparkled together in the Lantern Parade, sung carols in the cathedral and elsewhere, cut cakes, cut ribbons, lots of them. I've perfected my technique now. We've read stories in the tailor of Gloucester's kitchen, cheered tractor rallies, crashed a few Dodgem cars at Tewkesbury Mop Fair, watched the Muppet Christmas Carol, 3 plays and a panto, attended services of all faiths across the city, walked in the rain with our Ukrainian community, and sambered in the sunshine at Pride. I've also chaired 6 full council meetings, but that would not be included in the fun list, as I'm sure you will appreciate. But many thanks to John, Tanya, Lauren, Ollie, Jane and Tom for all your good guidance on those occasions. Thank you. My thanks must also go to Dave Baldwin, City Marshal, Michael Hall, our loyal sword bearer, and all of the Masketeers, as I like to call them, for their dedicated service to the civics. I'd also like to thank the entire cathedral team for their encouragement and support, along with my chaplain, the Reverend Sarah Todd, who has already received a token of my gratitude for her year of prayers in this chamber and at many other events. The same can be said of the lovely Parvati Daya, who's looked after us so splendidly throughout the year. She has already received flowers, but I do have a card for you, Parvi, as well, and one for David too. I'll give you those in a moment. Thank you also to Karen Pearson and the events team, David Rice and our custodians, Paul, Ken and Billy. And I'd also like to mention Bob Wright and all of Chris Hall's driving team for their solid and reliable service. I was delighted to award 2 Mayor's Medals this year, one to Mark Cunningham of the Sherborne Cinema and the other to Teresa Fisher of the Knit and Natter Group at Tesco Quedgley. Others I would like to give special recognition to are Vanessa Worrell of the Redwell Centre in Matson, Alan Myatt, our esteemed town crier, and our former MP, Richard Graham. Each, in their own way, have greatly enhanced the character and well-being of our great city, and I thank them for it with all my heart. The kindness and generosity of Gloucester folk has been evident in our fundraising efforts this year for our civic charities, Alzheimer's Society, Sue Ryder Leckhampton and Teckles. Our 2 main events held at St Barnabas Hall in Tuffley, with Rain or Shine's production of Murder Most Wild in January and singer Johnny Coppin on Saturday, just gone, were both lovely community events to which all were welcome. Along with Madam Sheriff's Assizes of Ale and kind donations from the Rotary Club of Gloucester and the Danter family, among others, we have raised a grand total in the region of £5,500. Finally, I must thank the civic team, starting with Councillor Pam Tracy, who is often described as a legend in Gloucester. When Pam's around, a special kind of magic happens. And the most recent example of this was at the Polish Heritage Day in the park last week. As we were leaving the stage after the speeches, Pam grabbed the mic and joined in with the singers. And before we knew it, we were all linking arms with the performers and kicking our legs in time to the music. Fantastic. So thanks for all the fun memories, Pam. It's been an extraordinary year, which I will never forget. And we hope you like the token of our gratitude, which you received earlier. Justin Hudson, just behind me here, you have made a huge contribution to the civics this year, as you also did last year, of course. And your care for us all has been greatly appreciated. Your humour was so helpful in all situations, and not to mention your endless supply of cough sweets. You also provided bar facilities at both of the St Barnabas civic events, for which we are most grateful to you. You are definitely the star with the bar and the best consort Pam could have chosen. Thank you for your service to the city, my friend. And of course, that brings me to my own consort extraordinaire, my dear husband Ross, who has faithfully recorded every step of this remarkable adventure with a collection of beautifully crafted videos, which will now be submitted to the Gloucestershire Archive Hub for posterity. I feel so honoured about that. This year marked our silver wedding anniversary, but the mayoral experience has made it truly golden for us. The friends we've made, the bonds we've formed, the times we've shared will stay with us forever. There's so much more I want to say, but the time for Mayor 544 has now run out. And so I must sign off, and I'll do it in true theatrical style with a poem by special request, and for those of you who missed it at the Cathedral Civic Service. I'm the mayor, and I sit in the chair, and I have a spare, oh, and one over there. Robes I wear, 'tis a role most rare, and I try to be fair, but please be aware, I may not glare, and I may not stare, but don't you dare. I've been here and I've been there, I've been pretty much everywhere, and my thoughts I'll share, and to this I'll swear, I really do care. So I say a prayer as the outgoing mayor, wishing well and way fair to the incoming mayor. Thank you.
I now call on Councillor Tracy to reply.
All what goes on in this city, but without you guys, the council for giving us this opportunity. And a lot of it's been repeated. Where's my glasses? Okay. First of all, Mr. Mayor and Madam Sheriff, I congratulate you on becoming mayor and sheriff of this wonderful city. And I know you're going to have a fabulous year with the wonderful team you've got behind you. And I wish you every success and joy every minute. I would like to congratulate the outgoing mayor, Lorraine, who did a brilliant job with Ross as her consort. With all the photos and videos, I don't think a mayoral year will ever be so well documented. And I'm sure it'd make a good film, Ross. It would make a good film. I'd like to say a few more thank yous to Justin, my consort. He might not be a consort as such, although at times I think he's also been my carer. And he might not be able to lose the second of those rows as easy as the first. He's also been my social media manager, posting details of what we've been doing on Facebook. Thanks also goes to Parvy. Good old Parvy. Never seen much of her. It's all on Facebook, whatever. Tanya. And all the team for their hard work and patience. And Mr. McGinty being in the background of it all and making sure it's all right. Just make sure my internet's going to be good. And as it's been said before, I'd like to say thank you to Chris Orr and his drivers who have taken us to some of events and good events, many events. Well, we did a lot of driving ourselves, but it went smoothly, apart from the time when the car came to pick us up. And it broke down outside my house, right on the corner. And we couldn't get it moving. We couldn't do a thing, could we? Couldn't do a thing. It held all the road up, but we were lucky that a Morrison's van came along. We tried to push it. And then in the end, we thought, well, we still got to get to this event, important event. So anyhow, we did ring up. We couldn't get out of any, but we did find the right one in the end. And he took us, well, it was like speed as though we were in a helicopter, but we got there. And that was the only breakdown during the year, which in itself is a miracle. And I'd like to finally thank you to Nikki, my Sheriff's Chaplain, and she's been County Sheriff's Chaplain as well. She didn't have that much in the way to do, but I've always had her prayers behind me, and she's always been there, and she is true Gloucester as well, and obviously Sarah too. But thank you so much for being there for us. The Mayor has spoken of some highlights of the year, and I'd like to echo those and add a few more of my own. It's always been a pleasure for the city diverse communities. The Polish Heritage Day, the Filipinos events were wonderful. It was great to see to our most important public spaces, King Square and Gloucester Park, not forgetting Robbinswood Hill, being so well used. It's particularly nice to see the children enjoying playing in the fountains in King Square, and and that's what I'm so pleased with, Madam Mayor, Mr. Mayor, and the Sheriff for your chosen time, because, like you say, the children are our future generation, and that's what it's all about, isn't it, Jeremy? Yeah. And with the fountains, which now we envisaged when we decided we would put the fountains there. We've been to a number of events with our Ukrainian communities, and we stand side by side with them and hope there can be peace in their homeland soon. And I just cannot believe what's going on. But let's keep praying for peace and happiness in this world. And also a long-time committee member of St. Anne's Society. It's always been a pleasure to spend time with the wonderful people who make up that organisation, what with the Windrush and everything else, but they are a great highlight in this city. And not forgetting the Chinese community too. The Chinese, they do such a lot with the dragons and everything else, and they're a wonderful organisation, and I've sat on their committee for many years. Like it was said before, we had new links with the Paju in South Korea, and it was a pleasure to welcome the Mayor of Paju to this city, and we had a really good time here. When I say good time, a valuable time as well, valuable. Yeah, so we had some important anniversaries this year with the 80th anniversary of D-Day and VE Day, with a beacon at the start of the civic year, and also another one towards the end of it. I think they must have waited for when we were in office to start us off with a big flame and finish it with a big flame. But what a wonderful cause, Mr. Mayor. I've always said that this city runs on volunteers, which has been said before. And I'm pleased that I used to be a volunteer at the hospital too, and I'm so pleased that your charity for this year is going to that, because we all need it. Hopefully we don't need it, but we are lucky that we got a wonderful hospital in this city too. But thank you for that. And volunteers, yeah, and the hospital, I think, runs on volunteers. Like it said before, this city runs on volunteers. In a way, we're all volunteers being here. And whatever that's the British Legion, the Scouts, the Girl Guiding, and the Sea Cadets, Boys Life Brigade, and the kids playing in the park or on a corner. and, as I say, Sea Cadets, and one of the hundreds of volunteer organisations in this city. All events we go to have taken a huge amount of time in planning and preparations, not for us, for them, for welcoming us, but perhaps now and again we might need a change of a dress or a suit. And everyone who gives their time freely for the benefits of others. And we do say a big, huge thank you, because, as we all said before, we've all done some volunteering, and that's what it's all about. I'm a great believer in having pride in our city and celebrating the good things, which has been proved in this last year. And I was delighted that during the year, Gloucester Docks was awarded the Heritage Harbour status. And we saw the return of Believe in Gloucester awards after 5 years absent. And I hope they will now, well, it will be now an annual fixture, because remember that, Jeremy? Believe in Gloucester. I know you know, just testing. As well as the fun events, we've also had more serious and sombre sides of things. And perhaps that stands out for me, was the unveiling of the COVID memorial in Gloucester Park. 5 years on from the start of the pandemic, we remember those who had lost their lives and the key workers who supported us through those difficult times. In a way, Gloucester had several sheriffs this year, because the County High Sheriff Road has been filled by two people from Gloucester, Mark Hurra, and he was the former managing editor of Radio Gloucestershire, and Julie Kent, you may well know her from Piper Appeal. Yeah, she's done a lot for that. Sorry? Oh, the Welsh Sharp, yeah. I mean, I used to drink in the Welsh Sharp. Yeah, sometimes you buy you a pint, and sometimes you have to buy him two back. I can't think of another time when two high sheriffs in a row have been in Gloucester. And that's the sign of the growing influence and future of this city, to have two Gloucestershire high sheriffs. Mr. Mayor, it's been a very busy year, and we keep going until the end. Two of the highlights of the final work was, as has been said by the previous mayor, the stone-carved sculpture of the Lamprey Pie to go to the King's Gardens at Highgroves House, and presenting a certificate to the Earl Connor at the Assize of Wales. Remember that, Mr. Town Crier? It's good, wasn't it? Who has been sitting on the wooden stool in a puddle of beer for 20 years. I hope he changed those pants by now. But it's really good fun, isn't it? As I look back over this civic year, I believe the role of mayor and sheriffs are still highly relevant, and they are still valued by the people of this city. We need to keep this going. And, you know, and you here, and that's what it's all about. Especially the sheriff, because they tried to get rid of the deputy and sheriff, but we must emphasise it more to have a deputy and sheriff of this city as well as the mayor. Having people in time to act as ambassadors of the city does make, and thanking people who do good things in the city, and it does make a difference. So whatever structure of local government takes in Gloucestershire in the future, these historic roads should be kept, as I just said earlier. There is a way, in fact, there is more than one way. And I hope there is a will too. Mr. Mayor, once again, I wish you and the Sheriff the very best of your time in office. And I hope you and your consorts enjoy it as much as we have. And I really sincerely believe in it. Council, thank you for voting me, as I've been said before, and my group. Thank you so much for giving me this role again. And you've got to remember, you council believe in Gloucester, and that's what it's all about. And I'm going to finish off to say I'm so lucky that I'm the 894 mayor, And thank you, Justin, as I said, as my carer, dresser, and make sure I got in the house, but not to bed. We do all appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I say thank you, Council, for giving me this opportunity again. I think I'll close here because I missed a bit out because of what the Mayor said. And the Retro Festival too, which is a highlight. And that wonderful seat on Romerswood Hill in memory of Colin. Oh, yeah, and it's really good. And yeah, thank you, Council. I won't say no more, you'll be pleased to know. But thank you again. And remember, we're all here for one reason, and that's to support the people of this city, Gloucester. Believe in Gloucester. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tracy. At this point, may I present the former Mayor, Councillor Lorraine Campbell, with a badge and bar on behalf of the City Council in respect of her period in office.
If anyone else would like to come forward, please do so now for photographs.
At this point, Mr Mayor, may I present the former Sheriff and Deputy Mayor, Councillor Pam Tracy, with a bar in respect of her period of office.
Again, if anyone would like to come forward for photos, please do. No, it's all gone, all gone.
I now seek your agreement that the Council adjourns and reconvenes in 30 minutes' time at 4:50 p.m. Please may I also ask members of the Council to remain in their places whilst the Civic Party now leaves the chamber. Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you. Okay, so welcome to this afternoon's big meeting. Thank you very much, everybody, for your wonderful support this afternoon. It's been a fantastic moment in my life, and I'm looking forward to serving this city to the best of my ability for the forthcoming year. So thank you so much. Okay, so let's move on very quickly to the minutes of the last meeting. And we need to approve as a correct record the minutes of the meeting that was held on the 27th of March, 2025. All happy to approve those minutes? Yep.
Okay, if you wouldn't mind just signing there.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, are there any declarations of interest? Okay. No. Okay. Announcements. So I do have more than one announcement. Let me just find that. My first announcement is to Councillor Jeremy Hilton for 30 years service on this council. Please come forward to collect your badge. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Next one is for 40 years service to Andrew Wells. We don't have a badge for that, so we've got a presentation instead.
Okay. And my next announcement is for 40 years of service to Councillor Grells. We don't have a badge. We don't have a badge for 40 years. It hasn't been made yet. But we do have a wonderful gift for you instead.
Surprise.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Here's your speech. He wants to talk to you.
Please open it. Yes, thank you. I'd also like to announce a fantastic event coming up on the 22nd of June, which is a Sunday, from 2 p.m. until 4:30 p.m. at the National Waterways Museum. It's an invitation to Windrush Day 2025. It's called Changes in Waves, Belonging, Being and Becoming, and it recognises the historic and contemporary contributions of the Windrush generation and their descendants. The programme includes community performances, maritime heritage exhibitions, and a cultural reflection on Gloucester's unique links with the Caribbean migration and its twinning with St. Anne in Jamaica. I strongly encourage as many members as possible to come along to the event. It's going to be fantastic, and the organisers would love to have your attendance. So please do come along. Thank you. Okay, moving on to section 7 in the agenda.
First of all, the legal to council.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're still with amendments, with announcements. So please, could the Leader of the Council come forward?
Just one announcement to make, and that's related to the Gloucestershire Airport. As you members know, that we've been out marketing the airport to a potential buyers. The process is getting near its conclusion. The leader of Cheltenham Borough Council and myself, along with officers, met two preferred bidders for a full discussion the other day in the Guildhall, and we've now working out who the one that we will recommend to full council is, that we go into a 12-week period of tight negotiations, because they'd be the preferred bidder to buy Gloucestershire Airport. The council meeting, extraordinary council meeting, has been set for the 26th of June, and there'll be a full members briefing, in-person briefing, for members to come to this council chamber to ask questions about the preferred bid, and what the details that we can give you are, so that every member of this council is as well briefed as they possibly can be when they're asked to vote whether they agree to the sale. All I can say is that both the top bidders were very keen to provide a operational airport and had investment plans for an operational airport into the future. So we're confident it will see the future of the airport continue, that aviation will continue there and grow, and that we also see jobs protected and probably a lot more jobs created in that sector in the future. So, but we've got to make a decision on one or the other, and we will know that Cheltenham Borough Council have made a decision before we have, but we've, because the leader there has got more powers than I have, but I always made it point clear that in this council, it was up to every member of the council to discuss and to debate and to make a decision. So we'll be doing that on the 26th of June.
Thank you, Councillor Hilton. Cabinet members, any announcements? Yep. Councillor Courtney, please.
Thank you, Mr Mayor, and congratulations on your appointment, and also you, Linda, on your appointment to Sheriff. I have a few announcements for the Culture and Leisure portfolio, so bear with me. The first one concerns Museum of Gloucester. So we were awarded funding from the National Lottery Heritage Fund for a project called Store to Store. And this project is where we sort and review and repack all of the museum's archaeological artefacts and documents and photographic evidence to ensure their long-term preservation. This is quite a huge undertaking because the museum looks after over 750,000 objects. But the great thing about it is that it's being carried out in a shop unit in Eastgate Shopping Centre. So people will be able to view the inventory taking place. You'll get to see some of the hidden treasures that are in our collection. And you'll also have the opportunity to drop in and find out more about the project. So the announcement is that this is now live. The unit's operating in Eastgate Shopping Centre. So if you're in town, feel free to drop in and have a look. Also for the Museum of Gloucester, we've successfully applied to the Museum Development Southwest for a project called Beyond the Bones, Shaping the Future of the Human Remains Collection. And this is going to enable us to work with a specialist and with volunteers to examine, catalogue and repack our human remains. This is so that they meet current museum standards and will also lead to improved knowledge. Finally, I'm pleased to announce that the new Gloucester Guildhall Spring Summer brochure is out. It's been published, it's been distributed. If you haven't got a copy, you can pop into the Guildhall and pick one up, or you can go online and subscribe to their mailing list. So it gives you a really good summary of what's coming up over the next season, and also a look ahead to what's coming up later in the year. One to watch out for definitely is the programme of events that we've got coming up for Refugee Week, which are Moomin related. Moomin's on the cover too. Ooh. So those events will include a giant raft being constructed on the docks. There's going to be a light and a sound art installation. There'll be a cinema screening, and it will culminate with a big Moomin picnic in King's Square. And all the details are in here or on the website. Thank you.
Any other cabinet members? Okay. Councillor Sherby, please.
Thank you. I'm pleased to announce that we have started to see an increase in preventions when residents are presenting to us as homeless. This is the highest figure in over a year. This is a new positive approach to how this administration is dealing with vulnerable residents, marking a change from the past. This good news only happens when we have the opportunity to intervene early to prevent homelessness from escalating, avoiding some of the traumatic experiences that can come along with it. I just wish to thank the officers in embracing this change in approach and members for their assistance through their casework as we finally start to repair and put the heart back into Gloucester. Can I please ask that you continue to encourage residents to the earliest opportunity? Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Sherby. Any other cabinet members? Councillor Trimnall, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm delighted that we've actually retained for the 8th year in a row the prestigious Purple Flag Award win for Gloucester. It is the 8th year in a row and it's been awarded the purple. The purple flag is like the blue flag for beaches or the green flag for parks, and it is a prestigious international award given to nighttime destinations around the world. It is awarded to places that provide a vibrant, diverse mix of dining, entertainment and culture while providing a safe and welcoming night out. So something that I think we should all be very proud of. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Trimnall. Are there any chairs of committees that would like to make an announcement?
I didn't intend to speak, but just following on from Jeremy's comments about the airport, the Chief Executive will know that I emailed him last week about the joint scrutiny we wanted to do at the airport with Cheltenham Borough Council. And I think looking at Lauren for some help, we've given them given Cheltenham Borough Council 15 different dates on which we could offer them a joint meeting to begin work of the scrutiny of the airport. And it was only a week or two ago that I said to Lauren, I think given the lack of response, let's just give them one more opportunity to come up with some dates, otherwise we'll do the work ourselves on our own initiative and under our terms of reference. I checked very quickly this morning with Tree. However, I haven't been able to talk to you during the lunch break, but we're of the opinion, Tree and I are of the opinion that it's not right that this avoids scrutiny. I understand the point being made about a meeting for all councillors, but that will be time limited, it will be a one-off. And I think there are serious issues around the airport which we need to scrutinise. And I wrote to John McGuinty, as I've just said, and in my email, I think I said something like, please advise us what our next move could be in order to get some joint scrutiny work going with Cheltenham. I'm being very guarded in what I'm saying because I don't want to cause a big rift between us and Cheltenham Borough Council. So I'll end by saying I think the position that they've taken in not coming back to us with some dates for a joint review of the airport and the news that we had last week that the leader of the council has delegated powers, I think that is all unfortunate given the way we like to work here in Gloucester in terms of scrutiny by doing things timely and doing them efficiently. I'll leave it there because I don't, as I say, I don't want to upset our colleagues in Cheltenham. But I look forward, Chief Exec, to your reply, and I look forward to what you can suggest to us as a scrutiny committee to enable us to do our work effectively and keep looking at Tree, which is one of the vice chairs, so I apologise, so that we can do the work that we set out to do 15 meetings ago. It seems, looking at Lauren, she's been so good and so patient. It seems like, talk about getting an award for 40 years. It seems like 40 years ago we began on this project. So thanks for giving me the opportunity to make that statement. Thank you.
That's noted. Thank you, Councillor Grells. Any other chairs of committees? Okay. Any announcements from the Managing Director? Okay. Okay, let's move to section 7 of the agenda. Announcements to committees, consultative forums and working groups, and nominations for chairs of committees and vice chairs for 2025 to 2026. Councillor Hilton to move.
Yeah. Can I move that the the paper which outlines the membership of the committees and who the spokespersons, chairs and vice chairs should be is approved by this council. Can I also announce that the Lib Dem spokesperson on scrutiny will be Owen Wiederhold. That fills the one space we have. So he'll be there keeping an eye on the chair, I expect. I'm working with him as well, of course.
Is there a seconder? Councillor Wilson. Would you like to speak now or reserve the right? Okay. Okay. Is there any debate? Okay. Let's move to a vote then. This council is asked to resolve that.
You don't have to read it all out.
Okay.
That's all right. Are we happy to approve the recommendation?
Okay, are you happy to approve the recommendation? Yeah. Okay. Is that unanimous?
I think that's unanimous.
I think that's unanimous. Thank you very much. Thank you. Item 8 on the agenda, appointments to outside bodies for 2025 to 2026.
Now, before we take this item, we have 3 nominations for the St Anne Society.
Before we take this nomination, we have three nominations for St Anne Society of Gloucester.
So I propose to...
And I propose...
A simple show of hands for each of those 3 candidates.
Propose a simple show of hands for those 3 candidates.
So the
first candidate.
So the 3 candidates are Councillor Hyman, Sims and Tracy.
So Councillor Hyman, Councillor Sims and Councillor Tracy.
So
St Anne's.
Okay, so we'll start with a vote for those in favour of Councillor Hyman.
Let's start with a vote in favour of those for Councillor Hyman.
Sims?
Next one, Councillor Sims.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7? Okay. And
the next one is Councillor Tracy, please.
2, 3. Councillor Tracy's already voted. Councillor Sims has already voted. You can only vote once.
Nomination. It's the nomination for St Anne Society of Gloucester. Yep.
Let us.
We're having a vote today to decide who will sit on this for the next 12 months.
Which one person?
Yeah.
So can we just go again for votes for Councillor Tracy? 1, 2. Do you want to just count for Councillor Tracy?
Yes.
6,
1, 2, 3, 4,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8,
9. Okay, we need to vote again. Someone's voted more than once.
Okay, can we have a show of hands, please, again for Councillor Sims?
2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, that's better. Right. So Councillor Hyman is the nomination.
I can announce that Councillor Hyman is the nomination.
Okay.
Thank you.
We now ask Councillor Hilton to move the appointments in the report.
We now ask Councillor Hilton to move appointments on the report.
Now we've resolved that one difficult matter, I'll move that the council resolve that the schedule of appointments to outside bodies now be approved.
Do you have a seconder? Councillor Wilson, would you like to speak now or will you reserve the right? Thank you.
Any debate?
Is there any debate?
Okay, go to the vote.
Okay, let's go to the vote.
Those in favour?
Those in favour? 16.
Okay, I think that's unanimous. Okay, that's carried.
That's carried. Thank you very much. Okay, let's move to item 9, the corporate plan 2025 to 2028. Councillor Hilton to move, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and congratulations on getting elected. I haven't done that, and for Linda becoming the Sheriff and Deputy Mayor of this council. This is the recommendation to approve the corporate plan that's being presented today. It will cover the period of 2024 to 2028. It lists basically some of the projects which were in place when we took over the administration of this council, and then put them together with the policies which were in our manifesto that needed to be implemented. The manifesto putting the heart back into Gloucester. It did go out to public consultation and we got feedback on that. And also we had feedback most extensively from the Labour group, and where we've had some conversations with the Labour group. And can I say, thank Terry Pullen for finally getting to an agreement where we've got a corporate plan that I'm happy to accept, and I know the Labour group are happy to accept, which means we have a majority on this council to now get the corporate plan through. It's really important that we have that, because the corporate plan will provide for officers to develop their service plans over the life of this council and to work out their work streams. It is the priorities. It doesn't mean because something's not in the corporate plan that a member of this council or different political groups can't propose new things. And it doesn't mean that things that we don't know about at this point in time might not happen, because we might well get proposals from businesses and everything else to take things forward. I noticed that there was no amendments from the Conservative group or the Independent group, and I know the Independent leader texted me over the last couple of days to say that they were happy to support the corporate plan. The key objectives in the corporate plan, of course, are to strengthen our civic pride, to provide more affordable homes in Gloucester, to become a zero council by 2030, to improve the biodiversity of our city, to transform our services that we provide, and to focus heavily on the regeneration, the continued regeneration of the city of Gloucester, particularly in the city centre, which is the priority, obviously a priority, but it doesn't mean we're not looking at regeneration projects outside of the city itself, and to make Gloucester a great place to live. Action has already started and underway on many of the key policies in the corporate plan. We will be seeing officers' proposals for their service plans, but we're obviously already continuing progressing the completion of the forum. We know that Block 4 was just handed over to the council, so there's some movement there. And we've started the project on the Greyfriars project, the regeneration project, where we've received substantial funding from the government, and also point out that we wanted to make a decision on what we do, what the future is of Gloucestershire Airport. So we've got that agenda item to the extraordinary council meeting on the 26th of June. We are working on plans to boost the enforcement team in 3 stages. So that will have a much better enforcement team, which will look at housing issues, planning issues, environmental issues, so that we can provide much better enforcement of the regulations and maybe the planning permissions and things like that that we've already acted upon. We've got the cost of living action plan in there, which stemmed from a Labour group motion at council. We've had that paper come forward, and also looking at GL1 at Oxtalls and Blackbridge to some extent, those sporting facilities. Blackbridge is coming to the end of its construction and the work there, but on GL1, the Oxtalls, particularly GL1, has got substantial investment to go in. And of course, we've got Freedom Leisure now operating the services. We've also been successful in the last few months of getting additional affordable housing allocated at the old railway sidings site on Great Western Road. So Bromford Housing came in and proposed to increase the number of houses there by 85 from what the original Section 106 agreement had when the planning permission was given. That's good news.
Councillor Hilton.
Now got solar panels on GO1, and we've got new CCTV cameras for FITV, which comes from a budget amendment. So we're making progress, and there's more progress to be made. And hopefully, by the end of this council, we shall have seen a corporate plan that is really delivered for this city.
Thank you, Councillor Hilton. Is this motion seconded? Would you like to speak now or reserve the right?
I'll reserve the right.
Thank you.
No amendments, so we go on to debate.
Okay, let's move on to debate. Anyone for debate?
Councillor Pullen was first.
Councillor Pullen?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Can I be the first person from the Labour Group to congratulate you and the Sheriff and Deputy Mayor. Hope you have a good year. We hope you manage to keep us all under control. And I'm pleased to see you're smiling now, which is more than I said earlier. You look considerably nervous.
Thank you.
Okay, the corporate plan. First of all, thank you for officers for all the hard work they've done in putting it into and bringing it into being. Many hours of officers' time, and I know officers have been quite frustrated in that process through all the deliberations, but such is the nature of no overall control. Putting the heart back into Gloucester. Gloucester already has a heart. Our communities and our neighbourhoods, and there's a vast amount of work that goes on. Having a vibrant economy, having regeneration in the city centre is important, but equally important is regeneration in our neighbourhoods and our communities and improving the lives of the people of Gloucester. In compiling the plan, the Labour Group put in a some significant amendments, and all of those were, we believe, realistic, achievable. All of them were aimed at improving the lives of this city and the people of Gloucester. And I have to say, we were quite disappointed that the Lib Dem group didn't accept them the first time round. But we have persevered. And so we've managed to get in there from a Labour group, supporting and creating new jobs, obtaining CCTV cameras, ensuring festivals and events are affordable and realistic and inclusive, supporting neighbourhood regeneration, including Maxon and Podsmead, and ensuring the continuation of face-to-face services, not just those delivered by IT. We're disappointed that you couldn't accept them in the first place. It would have saved an awful lot of time, an awful lot of money, an awful lot of officers' time, saved a lot of frustration. If you'd have done that, this plan could have been agreed back in January. We believe that there's some learning here for the administration. You talked about collaborative and cooperative working. It's taken you a year to realise what that actually means. And we hope from the process of finalising this plan that you will move forward now in a collaborative and a cooperative way. The Labour Group are happy to support the plan. It's now up to you to deliver the plan, and we will be holding you to account for that delivery. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Pullen.
Councillor James next.
Councillor James, please.
May I be the second person from the Labour Group to congratulate you and the Sheriff on your appointment today. I'd just like to build on some things that Terry has mentioned, in that it is welcome that the corporate plan's now back before us for consideration. And it paints a broad picture of intent across a number of areas, worthy aspirations around increased gardening activity, provision of more inspiring public art and increased festivals programmes. These are the nice to haves, the things that make a place inviting and inspiring place to live, and as such, they need to be applauded. But alongside such aspirations, our priority should be concentrating on projects that improve the city on a more basic and human level, providing decent, affordable housing projects, such as those planned for Podsmead and Matson, both of which have only been named in the plan at the request of the Labour Group. And that should be at the forefront of our plans. Indeed, it was only at the behest of the Labour group that the possibility of a social housing development company was included in the plan. We need to remember that the basic responsibility of this council is to ensure that the residents in Gloucester have access to decent, affordable housing stock that enables them to live in pleasant and safe communities. To this end, the aims of reducing fly tipping and antisocial behaviour with new CCTV and increased staffing is an important step towards ensuring the city is a cleaner and safer place to live. However, the devil, it is said, is in the detail, and I have to say that some detail is lacking in this plan. Where are the timescales, the agreements as to the means of delivery, indeed the detail of who will deliver what and when? I would like to see concrete evidence of steps to be taken and initiatives to be commenced. The phrase work with partners and agencies appears throughout. It would be nice to know which partners and which agencies. Success should be a measurable objective, and with this in mind, I'd like to know how the plan will be monitored. I hope it's not just a document produced to tick a local government box and then be forgotten. So I'd like to see regular reports back to full council at least twice a year. I'd like to see the Overview and Scrutiny Committee call the plan for regular review. Finally, given that a number of amendments from other parties in the chamber have now been accepted, has this final plan been fully costed? Have officers done the sums and made sure everything adds up? I'm concerned that the people of Gloucester deserve the very best for their city, and that when they see this plan, they need to be confident that it's a promise of actions to be delivered, not just a wish list of nice ideas. So my final question is simple. Does the council have the budget to deliver this plan in full? As it would be a crying shame if it turned out to be more aspirational than attainable.
Thank you, Councillor James. Councillor Stephanie Chambers, please.
We looked at this plan as a group in detail, and we support the vision in principle. But vision is nothing but vision without the delivery, and we will be watching and monitoring the delivery of this plan. We agree with the Labour Party that it's disappointing that this is the second time this document has been put on the agenda. We could have dealt with this a long time ago if the Lib Dems had not pulled the report at the very last minute and had this debate and discussed all our wants and needs for the city and what the residents want together several months ago. We're pleased that it mentions civic pride. As a group, we are proud of this city, and I think the most important thing is that we show our pride and we demonstrate that to the residents and we listen to their pride of what they feel is important for this city. We're really glad, and Councillor Hilton mentioned, and I thank him for this, that he's going to continue on with the forum that the Conservative administration took the bold and brave step to invest in, and that it continues to bring in investment, jobs and tourism to this city. So we will be watching closely to see that the potential of this scheme is realised to the benefit of this city and its residents. The one thing that we are keen to deal with, and we have mentioned several times before, is as members have access to the KPI data so we can monitor what's going on within every area of the council without having to specifically request information. We can just see what's going on. And Declan originally agreed, but then he sort of backtracked on that. I've looked into the Constitution and it states that members are kept regular and up-to-date of information on matters which are appropriate and relevant to their needs as the councillor. Now, my need as the councillor would require access to that data because it's very easy and clear and understanding of what's going on, what the targets are, what the issues are, maybe that we couldn't deliver something at a certain time. And it gives you a greater understanding to what's going on with the officers and what they're doing. And the more understanding and the more information you have as a member, it causes less doubt and worry and anxiety of where the taxpayers' money is actually being spent. The areas detailed in the regeneration is very welcome. But I am really, really pleased that you've agreed to include one of the Labour amendments to include Matson and Posmead regeneration. It's extremely important. The time and effort and money that has gone into these projects is significant, and we've all been involved in it. And I've seen firsthand, as many of you, the houses and the property within these areas of the city, their original construction and sometimes the weather attacking where they are located causes significant disrepair. And this cannot be ignored any longer. We need to make sure people are living in safe and warm homes.
That's time.
Just one more
Councillor
thing.
Chambers.
Just one thing, it's slightly lacking about youth opportunities, but I was reassured today that the Mr Mayor has included these in his speech today as a main focus for him. So I'm really pleased that that's going to be focused on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Chambers. Councillor Patel, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I am, like everyone else, very pleased to see the revised version of the corporate plan. We're getting there, aren't we? We're making some progress. Thanks to the Labour Group as well for their support and push on this. One of the things that really frustrates me as a local councillor of an inner city deprived ward is we have all these buzzwords in corporate plans. You know, words like, we care about the people that live in and lead these communities. Our objectives are focused on making residents' lives better. Are they? Are they really? Are they really? Let me give you some examples. We have a car park, a city council-owned car park in my ward, where we had some work done nearly a year ago. That work still hasn't been finished. It's taken me 10 months, and I lost count of how many emails I've had to send just to get some additional bark chippings put in. We have a mechanic who's turned that city council-owned car park into a mobile mechanic workshop. We have street drinking. That's still going on in City Street car park, where residents are fed up and complaining about this problem time and time again. We're saying we want to improve their lives. Well, let's see it then. Let's see it. Let's not just see words. Let's see actions. It shouldn't be, for me as a councillor, to be having to send umpteen emails, 9 emails on a chain, just to get a abandoned, burnt-out van removed in another city council-owned car park. So if you're going to come up with a corporate plan and all these buzzwords, right, deliver what you say you're going to deliver. Otherwise, it's a waste of time and a waste of money and a waste of paper. As far as my constituents are concerned, they are paying our council taxes. They are paying their council taxes just as much as we all are, just as much as you all are. So help them out. Give them value for their money and support them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Patel. Any other debate?
Councillor Tracy.
Councillor Tracy.
Been thinking that you send all these emails, not getting responses. Sorry.
Sometimes I might be getting responses.
I'm talking.
Councillor Tracy.
Yeah, but I think
Councillor Tracy, can you?
Am I right in thinking?
Can you make a statement,
Mr. Mayor,
please?
that a question? Yeah. Am I right in thinking? I'm asking the question that we put council workers down there to do the work, and they're using it to do their own business. Why?
Right, Councillor Gravels.
Councillor Gravels, please.
Ask him to. Did Councillor Gravels want to speak?
Did you want to speak? Yes.
Sorry, I didn't say I'd like to speak. Is somebody going to answer Pam's questions? No.
Discussion. We're not having a debate.
So I just wanted to pick up
Q&A.
the point.
It's not a Q&A at the moment. It's just
Okay, I just want to pick up the point my colleague, Councillor James and Councillor Steph Chambers on this side made about timelines and seeing the evidence. And I think that that's key, isn't it? Because some of these issues, I don't want for the next 40 years to be talking about it's been on the list for 40 years, but it does feel like it. A lot of the programmes, the projects that are listed, Wessex House and Stevens and some of the others, date back to when I was a cabinet member and we were told then results were imminent. So I think the least we could ask for, request Chair, Mr Mayor, is a regular update to overview and scrutiny in the form of an A4 sheet. It doesn't have to be the cabinet member coming along, but just something that keeps us as elected members informed of where these projects are, so that in a few years' time down the track, we can see some progress. I don't think that's unreasonable, and I hope that can be arranged quite easily, please.
Is there any other debate?
Does Councillor Wilson wish to close the speech?
Yeah, thank you. I was going to say Madam Mayor there. I'm sorry. You're going to have to, because this is a force of habit. And can I just clarify, is it Mr. Mayor we call you, or is it Mayor?
Mayor or Mr. Mayor, both good.
Right. Okay.
Stress-free.
Yeah, it is unbelievable. Just very briefly, I was just sitting there reflecting back to when I made a speech to this council at our AGM last May, a year ago. I expressed a hope that, we could all work together for the good of the city. And I think the consensus in the chamber then, it was generally agreed that we should be doing that. I think this is a document now that the majority of the people in this chamber should be able to buy into. Yes, Terry, you did persevere, and to be fair to you, you struck a hard bargain. But that's what your role is. The amendments you've got put into it, I'm perfectly happy with, I think that I do share your desire for us to be a more collaborative council. So I think that we will work with you to make sure that we deliver all of these objectives that are now in the plan. Of course, it'll always be the case that political groups will always have a different emphasis on things. That's just the nature of the thing. We've all got different priorities, but I hope there is enough here in this document now to unite the parties in this chamber. If we can reach agreement in this plan, I'm confident in 3 years' time. But effectively, you talk about what's the timeline. The timeline is the rest of the period of this council's 3 years' time. We will have succeeded in the continuation of improvements in our city, because the city has been improving over the years. It's something we can only achieve, though, if we all work together. That's the nature of the beast. So I would therefore ask everyone to, if they could please support this plan today. I think it's a good start, and if we can also start working together a little bit more, I think most people will be grateful for us for doing that, but it shouldn't really need to be said. So let's all work together on this now, and perfectly happy for us to be scrutinised on this, and this is the role of overdue scrutiny in particular. That's absolutely fine. It's what you expect. So let's just get on with it. Thank you. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Wilson. Would Councillor Hilton like to sum up?
Yeah, just to say a few things. That when you're trying to get through a corporate plan through a council in no overall control, negotiations must be very much like two countries negotiating an international treaty, and they've made a lot of progress, but it's fine-tuning of the words. And we know, the general emphasis of what Terry wanted to do was the same as what we wanted to do. It was the emphasis on the wording and how that sentences were constructed, and we finally got to a way that we can agree to the corporate plan as it stands today. It's also helpful that the Conservatives removed their wrecking amendment, and they didn't propose it this time round. That was the reason why it was pulled earlier this year, because they were removing projects which were in the corporate plan, which were in their own corporate plan as well. These projects such as Whitefriars, Spread Eagle Court, Wessex House, they removed those projects from the corporate plan, and that's the reason why we pulled the report at that council meeting. So it's good that we've got to this point. Can I also say, talking about having the money to fund the schemes, that is another reason why we were tough in the negotiations, because though there's some good aspirations in what the Labour group wanted to propose, some of them came with a heavy bill. We can't afford to do it. We can't afford at the moment to create a social housing company unless we've got at least 300 houses in that unit. You can't cover the management costs. So what we're going to need to do is talk together with the MP and the MP's office to see how we can deliver that sort of quantity of social housing in Gloucester, new social housing, that could be done through that sort of vehicle model, and which we've got the capacity to set one up. If it's just 100 houses he can find the money for, we're not going to be able to create that vehicle to do it. So a lot of these projects, particularly the ones that the Labour group proposed, need the support of the MP and need the support of the government with additional funding. And I've already said to Alex McIntyre that when we've got this through council, I'm quite happy to have a chat with him, with my deputy leader, about how we can progress projects with the assistance of the MP. And whoever the next MP and the next MP, whoever it is, we need to work with the MP. Timelines, yeah. scrutiny can call for a report at any point in time. They'll have the document to do that. They can ask how things are going on. Councillor Patel always brings in things which are totally unrelated to the discussion we're having, making accusations about this, some car dumped in some street that nobody knows about, but he knows about. And we all have cars that are dumped in the street. We go to our council and we get them moved. So, getting it done.
That's time. That's time, Councillor.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating, Mr. Mayor, that we get these sort of things chucked in, which are totally unrelated to the debate we're having, and which we've got no knowledge to them. It's about time members like Councillor Patel actually put those issues in writing to me or to somebody else, so that we know what we're talking about, rather than bring it up at a meeting.
Councillor Hilton, time's up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's a point of clarification from Councillor Patel.
Point of clarification from Councillor Patel.
Point of explanation. I
Personal
didn't say
explanation.
these vehicles were in the road, Mr. Mayor. What I said was these vehicles were, and a mechanic is working in a city council-owned car park.
Okay.
And
Thank
the
you.
abandoned, burnt-out van is in another city council-owned car park, which has been there for over nearly 6
Thank
weeks
you.
now.
Thank you, Councillor Patel.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being succinct, Councillor Patel.
We now move to a vote.
Now, okay, thank you very much.
We now move to a vote on the motion.
Can we move ahead to a vote on the motion, please?
Those in favour?
Those in favour?
Okay, those against?
Those against?
Abstentions?
Abstentions?
Okay, that's carried.
Okay, that's carried.
There are no notices of motion, so that's the end of the meeting.
Okay. I can confirm there are no notices of motion, and therefore the meeting concludes now. Thank you very much.